Hey folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier. So everyone's excited. CM Punk made his return last night at the Survivor Series. One of my subscribers and buddies, Michael AJ Norris, requested I do this video. And, I slept on it overnight. I thought about it. I did watch it in live time. So I did see the pop of CM Punk coming out. And interestingly enough, they kind of, sandwiched that right after Randy Orton making his big comeback and being in the War Games match, and everything was ha ha ha, fun, fun, fun. No blood in these War Games matches, as is the WWE tradition, apparently. The War Games match itself, the main event, I'll just say was, it was a lot of high spots, like a lot of, five guys doing the Randy Orton DDT and so forth. Does that compare to even the 1989 War Games match, the Freebirds and Samoan SWAT team against the Road Warriors, Dr. Death, and the Midnight Express? Not really. It's just a different flavor. I mean, the WWE wrestling now and a lot of wrestling now, it feels so choreographed. It's just, it's not the same as guys like me that grew up with wrestling where it didn't feel so choreographed, okay? Not to say that it's horrible now. I still go to NXT shows. I go to AEW shows. I support independent wrestling. And I watch, but it's just not the same. Now we get a little bit of an interesting thing here. CM Punk coming in. So it's kind of like this. Let's all be excited now. This is the peak. Like this right now or last night at Survivor Series, and all the, all your podcast buddies, the Wrestle Talk guys, the Joe Cronins, everyone doing their my take and all this horse shit. This is the fucking peak of this situation. It's not going to get better, okay? So this is what I would compare it to. I'm thinking of other returns that we thought we never see. Basically, there's two. I mean, we could go through all the lists, but let's say maybe three I'll throw in there, okay? 96 Ultimate Warrior, 2002 Hulk Hogan, and what was it, 2010 Bret Hart? Was that 2010 when Bret came back and had that match with Vince McMahon at WrestleMania? Post-stroke Bret Hart, nonetheless. Post-stroke Bret Hart. So here we go. 96, I mean, they pushed Warrior. They had him beat Triple H at WrestleMania. He wore the hat, like I'm wearing a hat now on Monday Night Raw as a disrespect. He looks, I'm a big post-wrestling Ultimate Warrior fan. I was more of a fan of his motivational videos. I thought those were great from the Ultimate Warrior. If you haven't watched those, look them up. I think I've got a few buried on this channel, to tell you the truth. But I mean, the Ultimate Warrior 96 was, it just not much happened. You know what I mean? I think he beat Goldust on a pay-per-view. There were some interesting angles. They kept him away from the world title, which was a smart move. But Ultimate Warrior 96, it just, they went back to their same old thing. Like him and Vince, Warrior and Vince could not get along, and Warrior was gone. So it was kind of like interesting for a while, and then it was done, 4 or 5 months into it. Hogan in 2002, probably the most successful of all these three examples, of which I'm building to the CM Punk comparisons. Hogan in 2002 got a much bigger positive response from the fans than anyone could have really expected. Had that match, the awesome match that the fans made in the Toronto Sky Dome against The Rock at WrestleMania 18. I think they kind of went in they pushed it too far. They had Hogan beat Triple H at a pay-per-view the next month with all the swerviness. I think that was Backlash. But the point is, they kept Hogan around for, a year or so? I mean, he did the Mr. America thing with the mask. It felt like it started so strong with the NWO, reboot in WWE, and then they transitioned to the old Hogan, the red and yellow, but Hogan didn't want to do all these jobs to guys. I mean, I think they had him tap out to Kurt Angle. They had Brock Lesnar beat him in the red thing, the blood in the chest of Lesnar. But ultimately, and I think Hogan was even left off that SummerSlam 2002 pay-per-view, which was a great card, but Hogan was left off of it. So my point is, that was still pretty successful. I mean, you had an aging Hogan, just getting older like everybody does, but the guys got him through the matches. He got himself through the matches, and he kind of passed the torch to several people. That makes me think of the Dudleys coming back to WWE around 2016, where they spent a year putting over people. So there's that one. That was pretty successful, the Hogan one. Now, the Bret Hart thing, I think this is where CM Punk wants to avoid. And I think, I'm keeping my expectations low on this return. Bret Hart came in, and all the real life venom from the Montreal screw job, and yes, we have to say it to an extent, the Owen Hart situation, his death in a WWE ring after Bret left. There was some real venom there, some real disputes, okay? Similar in ways to CM Punk. Now, probably more serious than CM Punk's, obviously, with the brother situation. CM Punk, was sued by the WWE lawyer, by the WWE doctor, not by the WWE itself. But I think there's a lot of bad things there. CM Punk getting his official firing papers the day of his wedding to the beautiful AJ Lee, which that pissed them off, and rightfully so. Pissed off CM Punk and AJ Lee. And so on and so forth, and so on and so forth. So CM Punk obviously has some real-life anger, but the real-life money that he's reportedly making for this transaction, I guess that soothed him over, right? So you don't need a podcast with Chris Jericho or your buddy Colt Cabana or your former buddy, to get back in there. So, CM Punk's doing this for the money. The WWE is doing this, they don't really need the gunpowder as far as more wrestlers with talent and names. But look, they're always looking to do something, right? Keep things fresh. And to their credit, they brought him in. And maybe there's some human feelings of regret, especially about the wedding thing. And now that they have all this money, they can afford to be generous with their former talents and rebuild bridges. And look, Triple H now has this ticker. He's not as competitive as he once was. 10 or 11 years ago. So, he's in a different place, and maybe they're just looking to mend fences. And of course, I guess I was going to say DVDs, but DVDs aren't really a thing anymore. But all the programming they could do with CM Punk now. And remember, it wasn't that long ago we saw CM Punk on WWE programming. It was 2019. He was on that behind the scenes show, and we probably thought we were going to see him in a WWE ring back then, and we didn't. The point is, this is not as shocking as maybe you'd like to think it is. Of course, all these hints that people have been talking about with Nakamura and so forth, the hinting, I think Seth Rollins had some hinting. As far as the actual wrestlers acting all upset, well, that's acting. There's some reports from Sean Ross fucking Sapp that the wrestlers were actually upset. Drew McIntyre slammed the door. Okay, I give a shit. Okay? So, there you go. I think a lot of Seth Rollins flicking him off. Oh boy. If this gets you excited, guys, it gets you excited. I was hesitant to even do a video because I don't want to shit on the parade. But once again, of the citations I mentioned, The Ultimate Warrior 96, Hogan 2002, Dudley's even 2016, I really feel like we're headed towards more of a Bret Hart, whenever that was, 2010. I think it's going to be CM Punk going through the motions, playing a comic book version of himself. The thing with CM Punk is he's best when he's off the fucking rails. Well, when CM Punk is having disagreements and shitting on people and being self-righteous and doing podcasts and talking trash about the people in the business, whether it's the AEW guys at the press conference, or whether it's WWE on the Talk is Jericho, which you got to listen to if you haven't listened to not Jericho, I'm sorry, the Colt Cabana with CM Punk. Moxley did the Jericho one. Those are really fun to listen to, okay? This stuff, like the going through the motions and playing the official, version of yourself, it's not going to be that good. How can it? Because the fun with CM Punk is when he's fucking losing his mind and he's pissed off for real. And now he's not pissed off for real because he's got all that money. Now, did the WWE side him with any type of contingency plan, or like, hey, if you shoot on us or if you do something, we can withdraw the money, or you have to get paid at the end of the year? I don't know. I think they'd be within their ethical and morality rights. But what I'm saying is, it's kind of like, for you old school guys, there was an independent band called Fugazi 20, 30 years ago. If Fugazi signed with Warner Brothers Records, it wouldn't have been the same thing. It wouldn't be Fugazi. The whole point of the band Fugazi was, these are guys that press their own records back when records were a fucking thing. They promote their own concerts. They charge $5 a ticket. And you go and see Fugazi at some fucking dirt house club somewhere in the middle of nowhere. If Fugazi was signed to Warner Brothers or Sony Records and you went to see them in every 15,000 seat fucking arena, they'd be winger like everybody else. They would be Bret Hart in 2010. Okay, going back like every other worm on his belly, looking for Vince's love, looking for the fucking paycheck, looking for the Hall of Fame induction. Will we see goddamn CM Punk versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, whatever the fuck? I guess it's 40. I think we're more likely to see CM Punk get inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. And where does that leave assholes like Cody and The Rock? Like, we're still holding our dicks waiting for this Rock Roman Reigns WrestleMania match. Now, who really gets fucked in the ass on this one is Cody Rhodes, okay? Everyone was all, oh, well, Cody's going to get his rematch at WrestleMania. If The Rock doesn't come back, well, get in the fucking back of the line again, Cody, okay? Because now it's the fans' choice would be basically, I think CM Punk just superseded The Rock because The Rock is fucking 50. CM Punk's only 40 fucking 5. So now it's like we want to see CM Punk versus Roman Reigns, then we want to see The Rock versus Roman Reigns. Night one, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. Night 2, The Rock versus Roman Reigns versus the winner. Okay, assholes. Well, look, we're probably going to get fucking Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes night 2. That's it. And Roman's going to beat his ass again. That's probably what's going to happen. I told you, I fucking predicted almost a year ago that Roman Reigns is going to beat the Bruno record. You can look up that goddamn video. So this is my deal, folks. I'm happy if you're happy, if you're excited, if your fucking panties are wet about CM Punk coming back to WWE. I'm all fucking for it. I'm not buying the towel, okay? You can buy your own goddamn towel to soak up your own fucking panty liners, gentlemen. But great. Fucking great. CM Punk has proven that he's just like every fucking buddy else. He wants the goddamn money. All the fucking things he said about them ruining his wedding and putting his health at risk and lying to him. I never get to main event WrestleMania. Well, I guess dick for brains. Now we get to CM Punk main event of WrestleMania. But do you think him versus Roman Reigns will be some great match? I think it would be about as good as the fucking LA Knight CM Punk match. God damn it, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns versus LA Knight would be about as good as that. Now, where does LA Knight go? He gets flushed down the goddamn toilet. So, I mean, be careful what you fucking wish for, gentlemen. We get CM Punk, but all these other asshole wrestlers that you've put your time into, the Codys, the fucking LA Knights, what about goddamn Sammy? He was the big hard-on for everybody a year and a half ago. Who gives a fuck about him now? So, a lot of it is you, the goddamn WWE idiot McMark fan, who gets all hot and bothered about one particular fucking wrestler, and then, boom, they lose to Roman and off to the next asshole. So, there you fucking go, gentlemen. I'm not too excited. I'm not unexcited. It just is what it fucking is. I have a long day ahead of me. I have to take people to the goddamn airport. I have to pick people up from the goddamn airport. I have to do all these wonderful things. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this goddamn rant. I mean, we'll see what the fuck happens. CM Punk, I mean, I'm not quite erect about it, okay, metaphorically speaking, for all you goddamn wrestling fans who get so aroused by this shit. But it's fine. We'll see what the fuck happens. Yay, yay, yay. MikeMessier.com. Subscribe to all my things. Buy my goddamn books. Goodbye, asshole.